This amazing passage grave is on Anglesey. I'll have a go at pronouncing it. Barclodiad y Gawres. Many people class it as a profound example of Neolithic ritual architecture, where art, fire and death and landscape converge. It was constructed around 5,500 to 6,000 years ago, and this cruciform passage grave links coastal geography, hidden megalithic art and a bizarre ritual offering connecting many ancient parts. Its remarkable carved stones, usually locked behind a gate as I'll show you from a previous visit. I finally got to see them. I finally got to see, touch and experience. And I stood where one of the most unusual central half deposits in British prehistory was found. It was a deposit so strange that the excavation report compared it to the witch's brew in Shakespeare's Macbeth. The monument has been built, used, robbed, excavated, restored and reinterpreted over millennia, and the passage held little evidence for burial. The central chamber held the hearth and deliberate ritual material. The clearest cremation burial lay at the western side chamber, deliberately double blocked and separate from the fiery centre. Now the decorated stones with the sacred images were placed at the thresholds, sort of hidden in the darkness, and looked like they were charged by the ritual firelight.
Then you have the zigzags, the chevrons. Then you have, the diamonds there.
And it seems it was not simply a stone chamber covered over as an afterthought. The mound seems to be part of the monument's meaning. Does the long stone passage act as a sensory and physical transmission from the living surface of the headland into the constructed secret interior? Moving through it seems to shift perceptions from the open coastal headland to an ancient sacred enclosed space for ritual, seeming to represent a corridor passing through a veil and a threshold. The journey inward began with a landscape, passed through the mound and narrowed through the stone. Here the chamber opened around the visitor. The side chambers held traces of the dead, but the middle of the tomb was kept for something else, something very special. A fire pit. Ash, shells, stone and an extraordinary deposit of animal remains were found. Yeah, it was roughly 3 feet across, formed of wet grey earth, ash and charcoal, with shells pressed into it and a covering of small stones and smooth pebbles. Many of these pebbles were quartzite. Now the remains of this magical broth found included wrasse, eel and whiting. The amphibians included frogs, common toad and natterjack. Reptiles in the form of grass snake, and mammals included mouse, shrew, possibly a rabbit, and birds may have been present. It's an amazing range of small creatures to find in the hearth of a Neolithic passage tomb, and it gave the mixture the impression of having been made to a recipe, seemingly as elaborate as a brew in Macbeth's Witches. There you've got fish from the water, amphibians moving between water and land, snakes from the lower earth and hidden ground, mammals from the surface world, and perhaps birds from the air. It seems it was not just a place where something was placed, it was a place where something happened. The carvings were not displayed on the outside of the mound for everyone to see, They were placed inside the monument in darkness, where they would only be encountered by those who entered the chamber, maybe even added to.
And then, like a snake, a serpent here, and another diamond there. It's like, this I feel is like a story.
Right, it's like the Gobekli Tepe, isn't it?
Yeah, because it starts with the spiral, and there's no symmetrical, nothing symmetrical there. It's a pattern that develops, doesn't it? So that means that there's some sort of story there. What? But my thinking is there's a story here, and it's a privilege to show this to people. Right. So this is the highlight. Where's that? Because there. Can you see it there?
Yeah.
Yeah. Able to do the spiral is quite a mystery. There's a lot of thoughts going on into making the spirals as they are. Right. Can you see them? There's one here. There's one. The social media. It looks like the TikTok logo at the bottom, which is similar to here. That's capstone there, which is quite amazing how they're able to lever it, lift it up, and then balance it on the stones. Lift a bit, left a bit, right a bit. They needed the manpower and the woman power, but also they needed to be accurate.